What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today we are back here with a second test match review between South Africa and India down there at Newlands, and the last test match of Dean Elgar's career, but the last test match of the series of the tour of South Africa for India, and they come away of the last game with a nice win. A interesting result here that we're about to dive into. So hey, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and comment down below all of your thoughts on this test match, on this series, on this whole tour. Who's impressed you? Who's let you down? What you've taken away from it? Let me hear it all in the comments. But hey, we're going to jump straight into this one. They do say quick game's a good game. This was more than a quick game. This was over in a couple seconds. Look, I mean, I stood up for a second, went to the toilet, I come back and they were shaking hands and said it's all over, Red Rover. So let's jump into this one. Yeah, Dean Elgar, I mean, look, player of the series, let's just talk about that. How about this way to go out in your last test match as captain in one of the more fascinating games that'll go into the history books? Look, wins player of the series. He was incredible in that first test match with a 185 or whatever it was. It was amazing and still shows how much talent and runs that he can actually still bring to red ball cricket and for the national side. But he will be retiring out, going out on top, and just one of South Africa's better top order players, red ball cricketers for the last decade and a half, and they've now got a nice big hole to fill at the top, don't they? So who's going to bat alongside Markram? Do you bring in back in the GOAT, Temba Bavuma, to open? You might have to, so there's plenty to talk about from both sides. Player of the match, Mohammad Suraj with a 6 for 15 haul, another just destructive opening bowling masterclass from this great man right here, Mohammad Suraj, and 1 for 31. So a 7-wicket haul in this test match, and was obviously the big standout of this match. Just the way he started, him and Bumrah attacking South Africa in that first innings was incredible. And let's talk about it. So South Africa are in to bat first. Looking at the pitch before the match, and when they go to the pitch and they do their little pitch report, and they feel it and get their fingers amongst the grass, and they were saying it looks a little bit bouncy, looks maybe a little bit uneven. There could be a bit of turn, a bit of seam, bit of pace, bit of bounce. South Africa, what you expect. Not that. Not that. Look, the pitch isn't completely to blame because there was some incredible bowling and some average shot making. So Aiden Markram, 2 for 10. He's gone to Siraj. Dean Elgar, the captain, he's bowled by Siraj. And guess what? Tony Dezorzai, whatever you want to say his name is, he was then gone by, guess who? Mohammad Siraj off 2 for 17. So he's decimated that top order. Tristan Stubbs on his test debut. I feel for the little fella. I really feel for the Mumbai Indians blood right there. 3 off 11, but when you've got Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj genuinely bowling wheels and fire and heat, and looked like the second coming of, Dale Steyn and Morne Morkel at each end. It was just genuinely incredible. So unlucky. He did not have a great opening test match for him, but what more can the man do? He batted twice on day one and didn't make more than 10 runs, so it's not to be. David Bedingham, he's looked impressive this last few matches, 12 off 17, played a few nice shots. He was gone to Mo Siraj. Kyle Verreynne, gone to Mo Siraj, so he was the top scorer with 15. Nice one there, Kyle. Marco Jansen gone for a duck with an absolute seed. Maharaj, Mukesh Kumar cleaning up the tail there. Not a hell of a lot to talk about down this order. I think more to talk about is this fall of wickets here. 5 for 1, 8 for 2, 11 for 3, 15 for 4, 34 for 5, 34 for 6, 45 for 7, 46 for 8, 55 for 9, all out for 55. So, yeah, I mean, if you were listening to the commentary, Ravi Shastri said it best. If you went around the corner to take a dump, you would have come back and the game was over. They were just shaking hands, and it's like, all right, I guess I've missed a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, day one scenes, you just don't expect 23 wickets, 2 fall. Bumrah was incredible as usual, 2 for not 2 for 50, if I can speak properly, 2 for 25 off 8. Mo Siraj, the star, 6 for 15 off 9. I mean, just, this man just takes big hauls for fun. Prasid Krishna, none for 10 off 4. And then Mukesh Kumar, 2 for none off 2 with 2 maidens. So just an incredible effort there from himself, finishing off the tail. All right, so 55 all out. You're expecting that India, then they have to bat. Look, they have to also bat on this, so you have to see two sides of the story, and they started well. Jaiswal gone for a duck, not ideal, but that happens. Then Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, and then Virat Kohli, to that matter, put together this solid enough platform. Sharma with good intent, Gill looked quite solid. Kohli was obviously very good with a 46 and, tried to stay around as long as possible, but other than that top 3 echelon of players of Hitman, Gill, Kohli, we just scroll down and the next top scorer is fucking 8. Like, fellas, I understand that you might have had other things on, but you're here playing test match cricket for your country. Again, we understand the pitch was a little bit tricky, but far out, there were some just average shots at best. That shot from KL Rahul just made me feel just ill inside. I mean, it was so high, he just went to play at it. Just leave it alone, KL. When the team is collapsing, just leave the bat down, please. It's not a lightsaber. You don't need to try and smack everything. But look, hey, if we're talking about the batting highlights, obviously Kohli was that one. But that's it. Like, after that, it was done, and you have to get into this bowling of South Africa. But where India were to win this game, like, they should have buried South Africa right here. They were 153 for 4 they were, and then lost a wicket. I mean, you're in the lead by about 100 runs at this point. You have to go on, make another 100 runs, give them a 200 lead, and just make it really, really impossible for South Africa to bat their way back into this. And they then lost, what was it, like 6 wickets in a row for not even 1 run. Not 1 run! Not even an extra was bowled. That's class, and there's not much that can be said about that. Like, that is just genuine class, and take your hat off to one of the best bowling efforts of all time. Like, again, not ideal shot making at times, but the bowling has to be up to par. Rabada 3 for 38, Ngidi 3 for 30, the Maharaja Mac, Nondre Berger 3 for 42 off 8, and Marco Jansen none for 29 off 9. So, as you can see, no spin. There were spinners playing for both teams, wasn't there? I think. Right? Wait, hold on a minute. Wasn't there? Yeah, so Maharaj was playing, and I don't think he bowled an over. Hold on a minute. The man did not bowl an over. Keshav Maharaj did not bowl an over, and I don't think Jadeja did either, which is genuinely insane. But they're all out for 153. Big work from the boys at South Africa. And then they go into their second innings with, down by a little bit. 98 runs behind or something, deficit. It's not great, but you can still find a way into this match. And I was going to, again, say the skipper, but he's not the skipper. Aiden Markram, 106, opening up off 103 rocks, 17 fours and 2 sixes. Way to stand up. I mean, this man he's so inconsistent, but when he gets going and when he looks on, it is just some of the more enjoyable cricket to watch from anyone in the world, and this is why everyone respects him so highly and knows what he can do. You just want to see him do efforts, even close to this on a regular basis, but the way to stand up, because again, without him, this team was nothing. Like, imagine if Markram only made 20. Like, they would have been bowled out for under 100 again, and it just would have been one of the more embarrassing matches. But Markram saves them a little bit of pride, and that was it. Dean Algar, I mean, there's nothing else to talk about, is there? Like, Bettingham 11, Algar 12, Marco Jansen caught and bowled for 11 off 9. Well done. And that's it. So let's get into the bowlers. I mean, like, again, 3 for 45, 66 for 4, 85 for 5, 103 for 6. And by the time Markram was out, it was 162 for 8. He's just trying to tee off and make some runs quickly as well. So it's just not to be. Into the bowlers, Bumrah, 6 for 61 off 13.5. Take your hat off, mate. I mean, you're an absolute superstar. And like, we say it all the time, but just the importance of this man in this bowling attack in every form for Team India, like, it makes the world of difference. It makes this team from a B grade team to the best in the world in all formats almost, with just that one addition. Like, he's just, I mean, without him, they were good, but then you add him back in and it's just, you remember why he's so good. Mohammad Siraj, 1 for 31 off 9, but again, what a match he had. Mukesh Kumar, pretty good, I thought, 2 for 56 off 10, and Krishna, 1 for 27 off 4. Again, not really hitting his line and length, but does get a wicket. And then India into bat to chase down 79. It was going to be tricky if it was going to follow what we had seen in this match. It was not a certainty. But thankfully, they did chase it down. If you're an Indian fan, Jaiswal, 28 off 23, 6 fours. He went for it. Adds on some early runs. Rohit Sharma not out, 17 off 22. Gill gone for 10. Kohli almost finished it off and then just found himself out late. And a little bit annoying, but look, shit happens. Gone for 12. Shreyas Iyer with an absolute sexy shot down the ground to finish it off. And that is how India ties this series 1-1. No final deciding test match. It's just ridiculous. But Rabada, 1 for Berger, 1 for Janssen, 1 for... And that will cap us off for this series. So firstly, I have got some stats up, which we're going to jump into here just to touch off on this. So most runs for the test match series is Dean Elgar with 201. Of course, that 185. Virat Kohli, 172. KL, Markram, Janssen, Bettingham, and Gill. And then into the wickets, Bumrah, Berger, Rabada, Siraj, Janssen, and Mukesh Kumar. So plenty of poles to go around. Ravi Ashwin took a wicket, and that was the only wicket of spin for the entire 2 test matches. So that just kind of shows you what sort of decks they were playing on. But that will cap us off. Let me know all of your thoughts on this series down below in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see everyone in the next one.